I gave my young boy a pack and said flip that.
Welcome back, Rare Talks. You already know where it is. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't, make sure you go over to the Spotify and check out the exclusive episodes that we got on the Spotify. And we're back today with another Rare Reactions. Yeah, I've just been banging out Rare Reactions. You know what? If I'm being honest with you, I actually really enjoy Rare Reactions. I enjoy, like, going through things and dissecting things. If you don't know where we're at right now, we're in the best podcast studio in London, rarehub.co.uk. Go check that out right now. If you want to get good deals on podcast packages, editing, filming, you want a place that looks as nice as this, holler at Rare Hub, man. Top place, trust me. Today we're going to be talking about something that is very known in our communities, but we never pay attention to. Something called that the government calls county lines, but we calling it going OT. Now, going OT, the word OT, it means out of town. But what it really means is that man's going out of city to sell drugs. That's what it really means. I feel like a lot of young men are exploited by elders for financial gain. Now, I was one of those kids once that nearly got exploited by elders to go and sell drugs for them. But when you see the way that your friends are treated, they're treated like animals. And this story is a highlight of many people that live these type of stories. And I'm telling you, it's not good. So this story is from Essex Live, so website. The title of it is Rapper Forced Child to Live in Squalor in Clacton After Trafficking Him to Sell Drugs. Now, let me just put this out there to a lot of people. I don't like when they try to use it as slavery and trafficked for drugs. It's not what it is. That young man wanted to go there to make money to take his family out of poverty, or maybe he didn't have a family. So it's not like someone's exploiting to a certain extent. It is exploitation, don't ever get it twisted. But it's not exploitation how you think it is, like I've grabbed you and forced you here. It's kind of like, yeah, I want to make some money. But as elders, again, we shouldn't be providing the youngsters with opportunities like that. We should be providing opportunities like apprenticeships, getting jobs, trying to help them to do things like that. I feel like we're not educated enough, or try to start a business, because if you've got the entrepreneurial mind already, then all you really need is a little bit of guidance in the right directions. And this is what I've learned as years have come along my own life, and that's how I became a CEO of my own company. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to sell illegal substances and get myself arrested and put in good places when I can do it legally and make as much money as everyone else is doing, or even more. So you can make more money as a legit entrepreneur than you can as drugs. The drug game is never stable. It's always looking over your shoulder, either for your enemies or for the police. Some people are even scared of their ops. They're scared of the police. Because when they come in, as you'll see now, they come to take everything. So the story is about a man called Exan Benson. He ran the Peter and Zach drug lines, which were operating between London and Clacton between November 2021 and March 2022. A teenage boy was forced to live in a squalor without being able to wash or eat, being trafficked into a drug runner. The boy was trafficked by drill artist Xavier Benson, 22, from London to Clacton in order to sell drugs on his behalf, leaving him unable to wash, brush his teeth, and regularly eat or drink while living in awful conditions. Now, let me just put this out there to you. Sometimes you're trapping, you don't brush your teeth. Sometimes you're trapping, you don't wash. You're just out there trapping, bro. That's what trapping is, bro. Trapping is man's really out there, bro. Like, man's clothes is dirty. Man don't even care. Man wants to smell funky because man's in a funky house, blood. The house that man's staying in is a trap house, bro. Trap houses are not smelling good, bro, because man are bunning crack and bunning heroin, bro, in the store. Yeah, it's real life. If you're gonna do this life, you gotta be fully for everything that it comes with. You can't just say, you know what, I take the good with it. You gotta take it all, bro. And this is what I'm trying to say. Trap is not for everyone. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even telling kids to go out there and trap, but the way they're trying to exaggerate the situation. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you couldn't eat or drink. Brother, if you're not getting up to go to the shop, brother, you can't expect man to be getting you food and all that. So some of these things are taken out of context, and this is why it's good that we break these things down. Benson ran drug lines that were operating between London and Clacton between November 2021 and March 2022, supplying Class A drugs to users in the Clacton area. The drill music artist promised the boy $2,800 in payment for his work. Though the money was never paid, an investigation was launched Monday by Metropolitan Police when the teenager was reported missing by his parents. Police were able to connect the boy's phone with the numbers being used to run Peter and Zach drug lines, which are active in Clacton and already under investigation at the time. They established who held the drug lines, and Benson was arrested on March 24 on suspicion of being concerned with Class A drugs. The investigation revealed a music video of Benson bringing and sending a young boy out to sell drugs.
Where Pack and said flip that. I'm trying to push a boy's wig back.
A second man, Ryan Arrowsmith, was also identified as being involved in the drug lines, as he was responsible for sending out bulk marketing messages and advertising fat deals, 2 for 15, 3 for 25, freebies for numbers. He was arrested in March at his London home. Officers caught him trying to flush drugs down the toilet in an attempt to destroy evidence. In total, more than 2,000 worth of drugs were seized. Benson was later charged with being concerned with the supply of Class A drugs and human trafficking. His conviction under the Modern Slavery Act is the first of its kind in Essex. So let me just put this out there to you, and this is to every parent, every brother, every sister. It's not modern day slavery. It's called felled by your family, friends, and community. We need to start establishing things correctly. That young man was inspired by somebody to go and sell drugs. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, you know what? Let me holler at this guy to sell some drugs and go OT. Yeah. It's a combination of many things. A combination of a broken home, a combination of the failure of the educational system, and a combination of the community that you go to help you to become successful, making you unsuccessful and making you into something that you should never have been. It's a combination of many things. And I feel like we never ever speak about the before. We only speak about how he got there. Like, oh, he modern slavery, he made him sell drugs. Not really. If I'm being honest with you, not really. He didn't have to do anything. Nobody goes up to someone and says, you're coming to OT with me. No, it doesn't work like that. You come to someone and say, do you want to make money? Or they say, I want to make money. Sometimes some of my friends was like, I need to make money. And they would approach certain men and see like, yo, I want to make money. They'll be like, all right, cool, you ready to go OT? Yeah, cool, I'll go tomorrow. Family are reporting him missing, but didn't report that he had a problem inside of his heart and his mind that he was thinking about, I need to make money. We're not focusing on the right things. The family need to be held accountable as well. Because what was you doing for your child? Why didn't nobody see him that he was going down this slippery road? He's in his room all day, he's smoking weed. You can smell the weed on his clothes. You see he's listening to drill music, ballied up, Nike fleece tracky, 110s. Parents see their children in the newest items, see how expensive it is when they go store with him, and not wonder, how did he get it? You failed your child. This guy's just an opportunist. The guy that sent your son OT is just an opportunist, if I'm being honest. He thought, I'm going to make you some money. Lord knows what the little boy was doing with the money that he never paid him off. The little boy could have been doing all kinds of things. But why are the police making it sound like, oh, he never paid him for his work? Like it was legal. Like, yeah, well, you've done a legal job. You're going to get paid your salary today. Like, bro, it's all dirty. It's dirty money. Everything's dirty. When something's dirty, there's nothing clean that comes out of it. That's why haram money for me was never a blessing. It was always a curse. No matter how you look at it. Arrowsmith was sentenced to 4 years and 3 months in jail in November 2022 on a criminal behaviour order application that was made. Both men appeared at Chelmsford Crown Court yesterday. Benson was given a 67-month prison sentence and a slavery and trafficking prevention order was also imposed for 7 years, which prevents him from arranging travel for anyone other than himself or a family member. What? Arrowsmith was additionally given a CBO to last for 7 years. Detective Inspector James Healy of the Serious Violence Unit said, county line gangs not only target vulnerable people in their communities, but they also target and groom vulnerable children to carry out their work. That's a fact. This is trafficking and exploitation, nothing less. It is a disgusting crime, and we are determined to pursue a conviction under the Modern Slavery Act, given the impact Benson's actions have had on both the young boy and his family. Let me just put something out there to you. Modern Slavery Act is so funny because, see, they only use it when it benefits them. But somebody who comes there and is working, he's heavily taxed, or he's not looked at as a secondary, like a proper citizen, and he's intact and he's violated, but he works for the people that's violating him. Wouldn't you say that's Modern Slavery Act? But anyway, this is the first conviction of its type in Essex, and I'm extremely proud of the team for the tireless work they have put into identifying the people responsible, arresting them and putting them before the court. It's also a testament to the officer in this case that she was not content with the drugs conviction of Benson. She identified further harm in his actions caused to the boy and his family and relentlessly pursued a modern slavery conviction. D.I. Healy added, both Benson and Arrowsmith were both responsible for the supply of Class A drugs on our streets. We do not tolerate it in Essex. They are unaware of a highly sophisticated investigation being carried out in their behaviour when our strikes came in March. The evidence against them was already overwhelming and they had no option but to admit their guilt in front of the courts. The work carried out between Essex officers and those of the Met's Oratory Specialist Command shows that we are not tackling this issue alone. We're doing it with our policing partners as well as our local authority partners. PC Hurley Turner, who led the investigation, added, one of the main aims of these gangs is to recruit young children into their lifestyle. It is common for the established gang members to offer acts of kindness to children to win them over. They are promised a life of money and designer clothes, but they are duped. And very sadly, these children soon find out the reality is nothing but a promise. Instead, they are often go missing for long periods of time, creating terror for their parents who have no idea where they are. The children will stay in squalor conditions with little or no food and drink as they work to earn money for gang leaders, gang elders. PC Turner added, in this case, I'm so glad that we were able to work alongside the Met colleagues to save this boy from a gang life, to allow him and his family to build a future away from the people like Benson and Arrowsmith. It's funny, innit? Like, when you proper deep it, yeah, they make it seem as if they're doing a good job. But the real problem is that why did that young boy even wanting to get into this stuff? You see, we have to identify the root of the problem and not just the problem. Because if you can find the root, then you can take it out of the grounds. If you can't find the root, then you'll never be able to solve the problem. What you do is you'll solve that problem, but there will still be a problem there. Because that's one of many kids. Does it make sense? So I feel like it sounds to me like the police just wanted to like get someone under the Modern Day Slavery Act. That's all they wanted to do. Like get someone done for that. That's all they wanted. They didn't care about the young boy, if I'm being honest. And to tell the truth, the young boy, he snitched or whatever, yeah, because it just sounded like he snitched. Without saying he snitched because they didn't want nothing bad to happen to him. And the family are happy. The family should be terrified that their child left their yard to go and sell drugs. Is there not a problem in the household? Like, why would you feel comfortable to go and live in a crack house, blood? There's something wrong at home, and it's definitely to do with poverty. As much as we sit here and we protest and we talk about problems, we need to start speaking on solutions. They need to start opening up more community centres of community activist leaders and giving them lots of money. If you gave me 100 grand right now, I can go into any community of youths and take them off the roads. Because instead of them selling drugs, I can get them to do so many different things. I can get them in offices with business CEOs and opportunities. Even the young men that got arrested, they have potential. You see, I don't look at criminals how you look at criminals. I look at criminals as people that they wanted to be entrepreneurs, but they used it in the wrong way. You see, if they put that same energy into recruiting a young man to work for his company, modern day slavery, right now, the Modern Day Slavery Act is that we're buying Nike Airs, but they're designed by some poor little kid in China or Cambodia, blood. They're getting paid 3 pence and we're getting sold £120. That's modern day slavery. And that's what they need to be cracking down on. But that's another conversation for another day, because they only want to break down on the things that appear to them when it suits an agenda, when it makes them look bad and makes another black man look crazy. But the young men that were selling them drugs, if they can change that selling drugs into selling, I don't know, food or selling water or selling drink, they'll be millionaires. Because as you can see, they've got the idea ready of how to market and be a boss. All they need is a little bit of guidance. Look, there's hope for everybody. And I want everyone out there to know this. There's hope for everyone. None of us are completely write-offs. I never look at any human being as a complete write-off. I look at everybody who has potential to do greatness with their life. It's just about how you use your mind and how you use that greatness. Focusing on the things that are important. Part of my business course that I am running is that I teach people how to transform and I call it transferable skills. What some people learn on the streets are transferable skills. Learning how to talk to people, customer service, 2 for 15. I could do that in business. I can give you 20% off of your first month. How much does that make? So I save 20, 30, 40 pounds. Yeah, let me buy that. Do you see what I'm saying? But it's in a whole different field. You see, a lot of us are duped that being a criminal is the only way for us. And obviously the drill music, the demonic stuff, shotting, buying mashes, stabbing man up, protecting man's property, living a certain lifestyle for gal, bare gal around, man. Yeah. I know what it comes with. But is it right? No. So there's no justification in evil. They should have never sent that young boy there. They should have always thought of how can I help you in a better way? Because you know what? As I'm older now, I only look at the youngers as like people that have so much potential about them that they can do crazy and great things. You know what I'm saying? So that young boy, his family need to be held accountable for him going. And that's what, if you made it like a crime like that, that parents need to know where their children are. Some parents don't even know where their children are. How is your children coming in past 8 o'clock and you don't know why your children's in past 8 o'clock in school clothes on a school night? Like, what are you doing? And then waking up at 8 o'clock and getting to school late every day. You don't even see a problem in your child's act. And then before you know it, your child's in OT, bruv. My child's been missing for 3 days. Your child was never in the house anyway. Like, comment, and subscribe. Red Talks, you know what it is. We're out. Bow.